Man, I want to jump on here real quick and have a real heart-to-heart with you guys. I don't do this on Thursdays, but man, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Wait for a couple more of you to jump in. I'm gonna change the camera just to get better viewing. Yeah, better lighting. Yeah, that's a lot better right there. Boom. I'm gonna sit on this log right here. Chop it up with you guys. What's up, family? Man, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Man, it's kind of warm out today. It's about almost 70 degrees right here. You know, it's kind of schizophrenic, but this weather's crazy. But it is what it is. I'm gonna go ahead and get started, family. You can tell by the topic, man, this is a grown folk channel. This is a grown folk channel. You know what I mean? Blessings to you, family. Man, we're gonna get started. This is a grown folk channel. If you got kids, man, put on some headphones, do something, because you might not want them to hear what we're gonna talk about today. What's up, Kuznan? I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, my bad. What's good, family? Hey, let me get started. A couple years ago, I was went to go visit a friend of mine, and met a whole bunch of other people there. And this lady this religious lady, put it at that, came to me and told me that what's up, Jose? She came to me and told me that I was a warlock. I was a warlock. This lady's never really had a conversation with me before. What's up, Libra Love? This lady's never had a conversation with me before. And she felt like she could tell me that I was a warlock. You know what I mean? Stay with me. She told me I was a warlock because I came to her in the spiritual realm and enticed her to have sex with me. Woo! Stay with me, family. It's gonna get fun. It's gonna get interesting. It's gonna get deep. This lady told me I was a warlock. I lived 4.5 hours away at minimum from where everybody stayed at, from where she stayed at. I don't even know where this lady lived. I knew the city she lived in, and I was at least 4.5 hours away from the city that she lived in. But she told me that I was a warlock because in the spiritual realm, I came to her at night and enticed her to have sex with me. I'm laughing because if you've seen this lady, you would know that, yeah, I'm not driving an hour to have sex with you. I'm not driving 30 minutes to have sex with you. I'm not going down the hill to have sex with you. You know what I mean? Stay with me. And no disrespect. You know what I mean? She wasn't somebody that I was interested in. She wasn't somebody that would have caught my eye in any way, shape, or form. Any way, shape, or form. Her energy was off. Her looks were off. Everything about this lady was wrong. You know what I mean? Stay with me. And again, this is not judgment. We were not even on the same frequency. You know what I mean? There's no way that there was any attachment or attraction on my behalf to her in any way, shape, or form. At all. At all. But she told me I was a warlock because I came to her and enticed her to have sex. Out of all the people in the world, out of all the women that I would have passed just to get to her, stay with me. How arrogant and narcissistic does somebody have to be to sit there and think that, man, you have all this power, that I have all this power. And I believe in astral traveling. I've done it several times, many times. You know what I mean? I believe that you could do those things. But why? And this is the arrogant, narcissistic part. Why would you think, how could you assume that I would pass up all these women just to get to you, to entice you to have sex with me? I hear that a lot. I hear that a lot. I hear a lot of people tell me, man, you came to me in a dream and man, we did whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. And it's like, man, that's your issue. That's your issue. That ain't got nothing to do with me at all. That don't have anything to do with me. Other than the fact that your subconscious thoughts, you have some thoughts and ideas about me that you have stuck in your head. And because you have these thoughts fixated in your head, man, now they're playing out in your dreams. All these fantasies and lust and all this other craziness we have going on, now this stuff is playing out in your dreams. But instead of you owning that, you want to flip the script and like, oh man, you're this demon, and you're this devil, and you're this type of person. Man, you came and you enticed me. Family, I may not be the best looking person in the world. I get that. But one thing I've never had to do, I've never, ever had to entice any woman to have sex with me. Never. So if I got to come to you in your dreams and entice you, if I got to come to you while you sleep and entice you, when you're not all the way there yet, and entice you to have sex with me, come on. Come on. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. So many of us talk about, man, sex, and we engage in sex, and we talk about how controlled we are. And here's the trip, family. And I get asked this a lot. Because I studied a lot, because I meditate a lot, because I talk with God a lot, doesn't mean that I'm superhuman. And what I mean by that, it doesn't mean that I don't have sexual urges. Yeah, I have sexual urges. Man, and the trip is, man, I go to the gym. I love working out. Matter of fact, when I leave here, I'm going to the gym and working out. And the trip is, and I don't understand why this happens, but you go to the gym, and I don't know the rationale, I don't know the thought process, but it seems like for some people, the tighter the clothes, the better they look. And stay with me. What I mean by that is, some people, they wear their tightest outfits at the gym. Why? It's not like it's going to shrink the fat. It's not like it's going to make the muscle grow faster. It's not like it's gonna do anything for you physically. And so why people, women, guys too, wear the tightest outfits, the tightest, it's like they don't have anything on at the gym. And so it's like, I have my headphones in, and I don't like working out with people because people want to talk and chop it up, and I ain't got time for all that. And me, I don't, you know what I mean? And so I have my headphones in, and I'll be zoned out and look around, and people walking by, and girls or women walking in front of me, and all of a sudden now they got to bend over and tie their shoe, they got to scratch and all this other stuff, right? And it's like, seriously, are you serious? You know what I mean? Are you serious right now? It is what it is. You know what I mean? Family, just because I study, just because I meditate, just because I'm 52 years old, don't mean that I don't have sexual desires. It don't mean that I don't like sex. It don't mean that I'm some prude. Man, I love sex. I enjoy sex a lot when I'm engaging in sex. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. Man, this is a grown folk channel. Man, I love being freaky. You know what I mean? The freakier, the better. It's all good to me. You know what I mean? It's all good to me. It's just me and this woman. You know what I mean? It's me and this woman. Stay with me. But we have to understand that, man, we have to have some type of self-control. Just because I'm that way don't mean that every woman walk by, I'm thinking about, man, how can I hit that? Man, what could I do with that? And no, that's not who I am. When I'm with my woman and we in the privacy of where we at, man, it's all good. You know what I mean? It's all good. And we're going to do what we do. But that's just between me and her. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. Man, we have to learn how to control our urges. And it is a trip because I hear so many people talk about they're so spiritual, they're so enlightened, they're so this, and that, and they have no self-control. They have no self-control. And it's like, hold up, time out. Part of being grown up is having self-control. And we lack self-control, and that manifests in our life in different areas. You know what I mean? For some people, it's, man, they can't control their sexual desires or their sexual lust. You know, for some people, they can't stop eating. For some people, man, it's drinking. For some people, it's smoking. You know what I mean? For some people, it's shopping. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Some people, they have a gambling thing. You know, we all have something where we struggle at in regards to our self-control. Understand that. Understand that. And just because your quote unquote issue isn't the same as mine, don't mean that we don't have the same issue. It just means that it manifests differently in our lives. Some people they can't control their anger. Some people can't control their tongue. And what I mean by that, man, as soon as something pops in their head, they can't keep their mouth shut. They feel like they have to say something all the time. They always got to have the last word, even to their detriment. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. And the trip with sex, man, sex is so powerful. Sex is so powerful. I don't think we truly understand the power with sex. And it's a trip because we sit back and we blast the Illuminati. We blast all these secret groups and these witches and warlocks and all these other people for their sexual rituals and all this satanic stuff we say. We have all these different things, you know what I mean? It's all ignorance we're spitting, you know, because in reality we do the same crap. We do the same crap. We may not do it in groups, some of us, you know, but I've been there, done that, you know, orgies and all that other stupid stuff because of my insecurities, you know what I mean? And because, man, it's the thing to do. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know, I can't go back and change anything that I've done in my past. It is what it is. All we can do is learn from it and grow from it. Understand why we did what we did. And the great majority of us, we don't get there. We don't want to get there because we want to be the victim. We don't want to get there. We want to blame everybody else. We have to grow up. We have to learn how to control ourselves, self-mastery. That's the whole purpose of being here. Yes, man, it's great engaging in sex with somebody that you're compatible with, somebody you're connected with. But you should not be engaging with sex with people you don't even freaking know. Just jumping in. Oh, man, he looked good. Oh, man, she looked good. Man, y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Just because somebody looked good, just because somebody got a body, man, don't mean that you need to be trying to hit that. You don't understand the energetic exchange that takes place with sex. Man, when we have sex, there's an exchange that takes place. It's not just the semen and all the other stuff and she getting her orgasm and all that. All that stuff is great, but that's so superficial. That's so superficial of what's really taking place. What's really taking place is a whole lot deeper than just him nutting and her having her orgasm. That's just superficial stuff. It's a whole lot deeper than that. The deeper aspect of it is, man, we've now connected. We've now become one. And what I mean by that, our energies are intermeshed. Our energies are aligned. Our energies are connected. And just because you leave and you get up, take a shower and you wash off and do what you do and go home to your man, go home to your kids or whatever it is you do, man, don't mean that you wash away that connection. Just because you get on a plane and go to another city, another country, whatever, don't mean that you severed that connection. You're still connected. And see, here's the trip. When you engage in sex with people, there's that exchange of energy. That energy stays with you until you consciously sever it. And see, the majority of us, the great majority of us, don't even understand this stuff. We have no concept of this stuff. And so when you engage with somebody sexually, right, now, all of that energy, all of their trauma, all of their drama, all of their baggage is now attached to you. I'm going to say this again. When you have sex with somebody and your bodies connect like that, stay with me, I'm going somewhere. We're talking about self-control and sex. When you connect with people on that level, You take on all of their stuff. You take on all of their baggage. You take on all of their trauma. You're not even aware that you're taking on all of that. It don't matter whether you got a rubber on and he's using a rubber. None of that stuff mean anything. Grow up. A rubber don't stop your energy from connecting. Only thing a rubber does is stop the semen from going in there if it don't break. You know what I mean? Grow up. There's an exchange there, an energetic exchange. And so now, after this person's gone, we start picking up their energy, their frequency. Why? Because it's no longer their energy, their frequency. It's now become part of our energy. It's now become part of our frequency. It's now become part of us. And so I may have never had migraines. All of a sudden, now I'm getting migraines. I may have never had anger issues. Now all of a sudden, I'm starting to be spazzed out and tripping and, going on one. You know what I mean? I may have never had back problems or whatever the case may be. It could be anything, everything. I may have never had like self-hatred. But now I'm picking up all these different things. I've gotten all of these things. Why? Because it may not be about you. It was about the person that you was connected with. And here's the trick, family. It's not just about that one person or two or three or four or five, however many people you've been with. It wasn't about just that one person. It's about all the people that they've been connected with. See, every time they had sex with somebody, man, all of that energy was intermeshed, was combined. And everybody that those people had sex with was combined with them. And was combined with JoJo or Mary Jane or whoever it is you just had sex with. And so Mary Jane, although you may have been her first, you know what I mean? You're Mary Jane's first, but you ain't her first. Stay with me. And what I mean by that, you're her first to have sex with her, but you've given her the energy. You've transferred all of the drama, the trauma, the pain, the suffering from all the people you've had sex with and all the people that those women have had sex with. All of that has been now put into Mary Jane, Mary Sue, whatever her name is. So although this person, man, I've been this and I haven't done anything and whoop, and you hook up with this young lady and hook up with this dude and y'all cool. She cool people, he cool people, but now y'all fighting and arguing and just going left and for no reason, just stupid stuff. Because you've taken on the energies of all the people she's been with. We're interconnected. We don't even understand that. And so the only way to cut those, the only way to eliminate those things, man, you hear me talking a lot about fasting, purging ourselves. Man, we got to purge our mind, purge our thoughts of all the craziness that goes on within it. You know what I mean? We have to purge our body of all the toxins and everything else that we have. And so there's fasting that we do mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, sexually. You got to purge yourself. You got to clean up your energy. I made a video the other day and I was talking about, man, we'll go in and we'll take our car and we'll get an oil change. We'll take our car, we'll get a tune-up, new spark plugs, new air filter. We'll get all this stuff, tires rotated, the water system flushed. We'll do all this stuff to it, right? We do all that stuff regularly, but we won't do it to our bodies. We won't detox from all the crap that we listen to. You can't detox if you never unplug from it. I'll say it again. If you're still listening to toxic music, you're still watching toxic shows, you've never detoxed your mind from that crap. I don't care how much you say you fast. I don't care how much you say you pray. You've never detoxed your mind from that crap. You're still connected to it. So many people talk about, man, I'm celibate and whoop and blah, 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 blah. And that's great. That's great. Celibacy is a good thing. You know what I mean? To each their own. But it's not just about being celibate physically. Stay with me. Because the truth is, a lot of people are celibate, and if the truth be told, they're celibate because ain't nobody trying to hit that. The truth be told, they celibate because ain't nobody interested in what they got to offer. And so it's easy to say, man, I'm celibate and I've been celibate for woo and blah, 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 blah. And man, okay, you celibate because nobody wants you. You're celibate because nobody's been trying to get at you. You know what I mean? And that's not for everybody, but for a lot of people, they're celibate because nobody wants them. You know what I mean? True celibacy. Are you celibate up here too? Are you celibate up here too? See, because the trip is, a lot of us, man, I'm celibate. I'm celibate. I don't have sex and whoop. But we masturbate every other day. We masturbate every night. Oh, we celibate, but man, we can't get enough of the and you know what I mean? I'm just being real. We have to grow up. And it's like, oh man, I'm just pleasing myself. Okay, you ain't really celibate. You're not celibate up here. And because you're not celibate up here, you can't be celibate down here. You can physically abstain from sex, but if you still fingering yourself, you still jacking off, you still doing what you do, got your little sex toys and all that other stuff, you ain't really celibate. You ain't really celibate. We have to grow up. Because I know a whole lot of women and a lot of dudes too. Man, yeah, I ain't messing with them tramps and I ain't messing with them knuckleheads. Man, I'm just pleasing myself and woo-doo-doo. And they're the biggest, how can I say this? Their thoughts, their mind. Although they ain't got nobody physically right there with them. In their mind, they got some people there with them. In their mind, they doing some things with some people. To some people. We have to grow up. Self-control. Can you suppress? Can you control that urge to masturbate? Can you control that urge to get your toys out? Can you control that sexual urge? A lot of us can't. A lot of us can't. And so once you learn self-control, man, you should be able to just like, man, I see these women, I see these dudes, whatever, you know what I mean? Man, they look at, man, sis, you fine, you know what I mean? Bro, you got your stuff together. Just because they look good, don't mean that I'm sexually lusting after them. You know what I mean? Just because he looks good, just because she talks the talk and because she looked the way she looked, don't mean that, man, I gotta be attracted to them. Don't mean that, man, I gotta go hit that. Self-control is being able to sit back and say, man, I see your beauty. I acknowledge your beauty. And in divine timing, not my timing, divine timing, when my time is right, man, may I meet my angel, may I meet my queen, my king that comes in, and man, they're gonna look just like this. Man, I'm manifesting that they look like this. You know what I mean? Because there's some stuff that I want to have fun with. And see, here's the trip. So many people say, man, you know what? That's crazy. And I'm going to be too old for that. And I ain't going to be able to enjoy it and blah, 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 blah. Family, I'm 52 years old. I'm 52 years old. I believe, just me, I believe that when you put in the work, you'll be preserved. What I mean by that, when you put in the work, when you go through the fire, when you go through the hell of what you're going through, of learning how to control your demons, your urges, when you go through the fire, man, God, source, the universe acknowledges the work that you've done, and they preserve you. There's a story in the Bible that I love, There's a story about three Hebrew boys, Nebuchadnezzar made this big thing, a statue, and he wanted everybody to worship it. And these three Hebrew boys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they're like, man, I ain't bowing down to that, you know what I mean? And so the king got mad and he threw them in the fire, right? And so as he was throwing them in the fire, before he even threw them in the fire, he told his soldiers, man, crank that up. Crank it up. It ain't hot enough. The fire's already hot. How do you make fire even hotter? You know what I mean? But the Bible says they cranked it up 7 times, right? Threw these kids in the fire, right? And so these kids walking around in the fire, ain't burned, ain't nothing. And the trip is, the king says, man, hold on, didn't we just throw 3 people in the fire? And the soldier's like, yeah, we threw 3 people in there. He's like, hold on, I see a 4th one in there. I see a 4th one in there. And he's likened unto the Son of Man, the Son of God. Stay with me. And so here it is. He lets these kids out, right? These kids walk out. And as he's throwing them, before he threw the kids in the fire, as he's throwing them in, the soldiers, the heat from the fire consumed the soldiers that threw them in. Stay with me. That's important. That's crucial. These kids come off the fire. They come off the fire. And man, nothing on them was burned. Nothing on them was singed. Their hair wasn't singed. They didn't smell like smoke. And here's the trip. Family, I don't like cigarettes. I don't like being around people that smoke cigarettes. Why? Because that smoke just lingers and it just gets all in your clothes. It gets all in your hair. It's all in your breath. It's just nasty to me. You know what I mean? It's just nasty to me. But it is what it is. And so it is. You got these kids that just came out this fire. Just came out the fire. Didn't smell like smoke. Wasn't burned. Nothing. And so what God was showing me was like, man, Elijah, that's a metaphor. Stay with me. Elijah, that's life. I'll preserve you. If I take you through it, understand, I could bring you through it. If I take you to it, I could bring you through it. If I tell you to do this right here, man, I'm telling you to do this for a reason. If I tell you to be celibate, I'm telling you to be celibate for a reason. If I tell you to pray and to meditate and to fast and to do all these other things, there's a reason for it. I know you're giving up a lot. I know you're sacrificing a lot, but there's a reason for it. I got you on the end. I got you on the flip side. I got you after you go through this. Just go through this. I'm going to be there right there with you. Just go through this. You may not see me with you. Just because you don't see me with you don't mean that I ain't with you. I may be like a guardian angel. I may come in the shape of the wind. I may sound like a hummingbird. I may sound like a hawk, or whatever the case may be. Whatever your little thing is, where you see a bird or an animal and it reminds you of a past loved one. And you know that, man, they're still with me. You know what I mean? Whether there's a dragonfly, a butterfly, whatever it is, you know what I mean? God is saying, just go through it. Go through it. As you're going through it, I'm right there with you. All of your ancestors are right there with you, cheering you on. Why? Because you're learning to control some things. You're learning. You're growing. And see, the great majority, man, we ain't trying to go through nothing like that. You know what I mean? Man, that's unnecessary pain and suffering. Man, I ain't going a week without having sex. Man, I ain't going a week without smoking a blunt. I can't go 2 days without drinking. Man, I can't go a day without eating all this stupid crap. Man, we have all these excuses because we have no self-control. And so after you go through it, man, God preserves you while you're in it. He's preserving you while you're in the hellhole, while you're in your trauma, while you're in your pain. He's controlling the circumstances. And what I mean, he's controlling, he's got you. You look all around you, and I talk to people all the time, people that's been out on the streets and just doing the most, out on the streets, just wilding and just doing what they do, survival. And God has preserved them. God has preserved them when other people have committed suicide for going through less than that. When other people have gotten their wigs pulled open for stupid stuff. You know what I mean? And God has preserved you. God has kept you. God has protected you and brought you out of all of that. And so when he brings you out of all that, people look at you and they can't believe that you went through all of that. You don't look like you've gone through all the hell you've gone through. You don't talk like you've gone through all the hell you've been through. And the same thing is with sex. The same thing it is with everything else, family. Man, again, I'm 52 years old. People say, man, you don't look it, you don't look it, you don't look it. Man, I've been preserved by God. Well, nothing I did. I just did the work. I just did the work. I just did what I was told to do. I just did what I was instructed to do. It didn't matter what everybody else said. Oh, you doing too much. You doing the most. Man, it don't matter. It don't take all of that. You ain't got to do all that. You ain't got to fast like that. You ain't got to do this. You ain't got to meditate. You ain't got to detox. You doing the most. Why can't you just sit down and be like everybody? I don't want to be like you. I don't want to be like you. I'm doing what God has told me to do. And it ain't about you. It ain't about, why are you personalizing what I'm doing? Man, I'm getting hot. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. Why do you do what you do? I see you, Derek. Why do you do what you do? Why do you need the attention you need? Why do you get on social media doing all the stuff that you do? Why do you make all the videos flaunting and doing the most? Why do you dress half naked? Why do you get up and put on clothes and have your cleavage out hanging out like, oh man? And why do you wear the stuff that you do, women and men? The breeze is picking up. I see you, God. Why? Why do you do what you do? See, because we don't have no self-control and because we don't know who we are. And if the truth be told, the great majority of us don't even like who we are. And so we want other people to like us. Why? Because we need some validation. Because I can't like myself. Because I don't like myself. Because I don't love myself. So I need everybody else to love me. I need the affirmations from everybody else. And see, the trip is we use sex the same way. Man, I'm gonna put this thing on this girl. Man, I'm gonna have her screaming and woo. Man, I'm gonna just I'm gonna do all of that. And man, the girls said what they gonna do to him. And man, why? We need validation. We need affirmation. Because we really don't like us. And truth be told, some of us, we think that's all we have to offer. Some of us, we think our body is the only thing we have to offer. Some of us, we think our ability to use our tongue and our body is all that we have to offer in a relationship. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. And the only way you grow up is by going within. And what I mean by going, man, you got to go deep down inside the subconscious. You got to go into those dark places. You got to go into those dark places. You got to deal with the trauma and the drama that you've gone through. We have to grow up. We have to learn to like ourselves. When I learned to like myself, when I learned to value myself, when I learned to love myself, man, family, I didn't have to go to some sex therapy group. I didn't have to do any of that crap. When I learned to like me, when I learned to value me, when I learned to love me, man, everybody don't deserve to have sex with me. I don't have to give myself to just anybody. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. My hope and prayer is that you understand the importance of self-control. Self-control. Why? Because self-control is connected with liking yourself. Self-control is connected with loving yourself. Self-control is connected with valuing yourself, with respecting yourself. And so many of us, we don't respect ourselves. So many of us, we don't respect our body in any way, shape, or form. And to prove to you that you don't respect your body, look at the crap that you drink. And I'm not talking about just alcohol. Sodas are real bad for you. Real bad for you. Those energy drinks, those are like, I'm not even gonna get on that, on how bad those are for you. When you say that you control yourself, or you love yourself, you value yourself, man, all you got to do is just look at your life. Look at your life. What do you do to your body? What do you do to your body? If you really loved yourself, you wouldn't be putting that poison in your body. If you really loved yourself, if you really value yourself, you wouldn't be listening to that crappy music. If you really value yourself, if you really love yourself, you wouldn't be entertaining those toxic drama ass shows. You wouldn't entertain that crap at all. All of that drama, all that chaos would be like kryptonite to you. You wouldn't want anything to do with that mess. Not because you're looking down on the people that make that music, or you looking down on the people that listen to that crap, because you understand that low vibrating frequency is not something that you desire to have for your life. That's not something for you. And because you value you, because you cherish you, because you love you, you're not going to put yourself in that frequency. If you value yourself, if you loved yourself, would you eat the way you eat? Would you eat the way you eat? Would you be a little more cautious about the things that you put into your body? If you really valued you, if you really loved you, would you engage in all those toxic conversations with everybody? Just going down who did what and why they did it, and all they drama and all they chaos, and who's sleeping with who, and who got who pregnant, and who's messing around with who. You wouldn't give a damn about that stuff. You ain't got time for that foolishness. Not when you really value you. Not when you really love you. Because that serves no purpose for you. That's not good for you. That's toxic, low vibrating frequency. You wouldn't be watching Jerry Springer and all those other stupid reality, Dirty Housewives of Atlanta, whatever that stupid show is. You wouldn't be watching that crap. Not if you really valued you. Not if you really loved yourself. Because again, with sex, everything is energy. It's energy. And so when you watch that stupid crap on TV, that's energy coming into your TV, coming through your TV, into your household, into your area. That's energy that's going into your head. When you listen to that crap music, that's energy that you're taking on. That's energy that's been spread throughout your house, your apartment, your car. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. If you really loved you, if you really value yourself, you would stop doing the great majority of all the toxic crap that you're doing. You wouldn't eat until you were bloated. You wouldn't eat all that candy and crap. If you valued yourself, if you loved yourself, you would get up and do some exercises. If it was nothing more than, man, I can't get there yet, I can't go to the gym, man, but I could go walking. If I just walk up and down the street. Man, I meant the wind, speaking of like, yeah, say it. Man, I remember as a kid, I would go in the bathroom and shut the door, and I would just turn on the light, and I would just run in place in the mirror for 30, 45 minutes to an hour, just looking at my form and just building up a sweat. Why? Because we couldn't leave the house. We couldn't go outside for whatever reason. And so, man, I was still going to get my workout on. I was still going to exercise. And the trip is, man, in the bathroom, there's nobody around. I could run. My form could be as nasty as it want to be. I could be as tired and out of breath, and nobody's going to know. Nobody knows how out of shape I am. Nobody knows that I'm huffing and puffing and breathing all hard. I'm standing there doing high knees, just raising my knees up as high as possible. Man, I'm standing there just doing squats. Why? Because I'm getting in shape and nobody knows how out of shape I am. And so I could do it in the privacy of my own home. You could do it in the privacy of your own home. No excuses. No excuses. We have and accept and embrace these excuses because you really don't love yourself. If you loved yourself, if you truly loved yourself, would you be connected to the people that you're connected to? Would you be in relationships with the people that are dogging you out? Would you have these people around you all the time? Would you be connected to these people, knowing that they don't mean you any good, knowing that they're cheating on you, knowing that they're abusing you, knowing that they're putting you down and disrespecting you in any and every way possible? You accept that because that's what you think about yourself. You accept that because although you say, I don't deserve this, subconsciously you do believe that you deserve that. Because once you really believe that you don't deserve that, once you understand who you are, once you like yourself, once you love yourself, oh, hell no, I ain't putting up with your crap. Deuces, kick rocks. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Get over it. Deuces. You got to go. I don't care how good you look. I don't care how much money you bring to the table. Man, I will struggle on my own and go hungry before I deal with your toxic crap. And see, the trip is we go through all that we go through so that we can come into some understanding of, man, do I really like me? Do I really love me? Do I really appreciate my efforts and what I bring to the table? Do I have the ability to pat my own self on the back and say, man, even though nobody else saw what you did, good job. Even though nobody else seems to care, man, I'm proud of you. I've seen the struggles. I've seen where you came from. I know back in the day you'd have just gave it up. I know back in the day you'd have slapped the dog mess out of her. I know back in the day you'd have beat the snot out of him. I know back in the day you'd have been, you know what I mean? Chugging. I know back in the day you'd have did this stuff. Man, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Keep moving. Let's go. Let's go. The trip is, you will never, ever, 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 ever get the king, the queen in your life that's going to treat you like the king or queen that you deserve to be until you raise your expectations. Not just of them. See, because so many of us, we have all these high expectations of everybody else, but we ain't got no damn expectations of ourselves. We treat ourselves like crap, but then turn around and expect and demand that everybody else treat me with the utmost respect. I just saw you sleeping with so-and-so. I just saw you let so-and-so slap the dog mess out of you. I just saw you watching that stupid show, but now you're going to come to work and you're going to expect and demand that the boss talk to you like you're a grown woman. You're going to expect and demand that everybody around you treat you like whoopty-whoopty-whoop, like you a boss, like you a queen. And at home, you getting the crap beat out of you. You getting stomped on. You getting disrespected by your own kids. This is a grown folk channel. We keep it here. We keep it real here. You know what I mean? It is what it is. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. And I don't say this stuff, man, just to piss people off. You know what I mean? I don't say that to make you mad. If you get mad, man, it is what it is. Get over it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to change because you don't got mad. I'm not going to stop talking about what I talk about because you don't got triggered. That's good. I'm glad you got triggered. I'm glad you got mad. That means you were triggered. That means God is trying to show you, hey, you might want to look at this. Here's the trick. You can't get, people say all the time, man, how do you not get tempted to do all this stuff, Elijah? How do you not get tempted by all these women? Man, they look good and woo-doo. How do you not get tempted? You got to want to get tempted. You have to be interested in that thing in order to be tempted. You know what I mean? You have to. If I see a woman, again, I've already told you guys how much I enjoy sex, and man, it's all good. You know what I mean? But just because I see a woman that looks bad doesn't mean that she's tempting me. Just because she bends over in front of me doesn't mean that she's tempting me. It don't matter what she's thinking about. It don't matter what her intentions are. I've done conversations with people, women on the phone, who, man, they want to show all their cleavage and just they moving around. They doing stuff on purpose. You know what I mean? Y'all know, y'all been around. Stop acting new. You know what I mean? And it's not just women. Guys do the same thing. You know what I mean? And so, man, you have to want to be tempted. It don't matter what they do. A woman could walk in front of you butt ass naked. If you ain't desiring her in that capacity, it don't matter what she do. She ain't tempting you. Somebody could bring some coke, some weed, some e-pills, anything, all that crazy stuff, right? They could put all that stuff in front of me, and I'm not tempted by any of it. Any of it. None of that stuff mean anything to me. So there's no temptation there for me. Somebody that's struggling with that stuff because they have an inclination to that, they have some attraction to that stuff, man, you sit that in front of them, man, 2 minutes, they gone. They out of their mind because they don't went to the moon. You know what I mean? They don't went on one. And so just because people do stuff don't mean that it's a temptation. It's only a temptation when you really want it. When you desire it, when you're lusting after it. And so if a young lady walks by you and you looking at her tail and it's like, oh my God, and you saw it. Idea comes to your mind. You dwell on that idea. You keep dwelling on that idea, and now your mind is spinning on all much fun you could have. Now your mind is spinning on, man, what you could do to that and how you could flip it and toss it and do da. What you want to do, just spread it and just your mind is gone. You know what I mean? You've been tempted. You haven't just been tempted. You gave in to the temptation. You've already done it. You've already done it. You may not have done it physically. You've done it. You've done it in your mind. And so me, when I see women like that walking by, it's like, oh, I'm not attracted to people like that. I'm not drawn to people like that anymore. I used to be, but I'm not attracted to people like that anymore. And what I mean by that, man, I don't care what your body look like. If I'm into you, man, your body, it don't matter what your body look like. You know what I mean? You could be as flat as a door, cardboard, you know what I mean? Man, it don't matter to me. If I'm attracted to you, if I'm connected to you and we engage like that, man, you got the best body in the world. You could be overweight, you could be skinny, you could be whatever. And man, in my mind, man, you kapow, you know what I mean? You stacked. Whether you is or you ain't, we're gonna have fun. So it's not about the physical makeup. It's the attraction. It's the connection. It's the connection. Are you aligned with this individual? And see, so many of us, man, we don't even try to get on that type of level with somebody in a relationship. Man, we see them and this person's bad. Man, walking with this person, man, it's going to make me look good. Walking with this person, man, I love how they look. I love what they bring to the table. I love what they drive. Man, we can look good together. And so many of us, we're so ignorant, we think that's a power couple because you look good together. Oh, we're going to make good baby, pretty babies. We're going to make cute babies and all this stupid crap. Not even understanding where that person's at energetically. Not even understanding where that person is at emotionally, spiritually, intellectually. You looking at all the stupid, superficial crap. You looking at all his muscles and don't even know he ain't never got out of the 3rd grade. Don't even know he ain't got a 5th grade education and he can't speak proper English. And the best he gonna call you is bitch, hoe, skank, and slut, and all this other stupid shit. And he's gonna beat the snot out of you. But because he look good, he drive a nice vehicle, got some money. Oh, that's all that matters. He passed the test. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. Man, family, thank you for those of you that have stayed with me for this session, this video. Man, I love you guys. I love you guys. Man, I salute each and every one of you. Man, we're going to change the world. One person, one heart, one mind at a time. We don't have to agree on everything. Man, it is what it is. I mean, don't get caught up on all that stupid stuff. You know what I mean? Don't get caught up on that foolishness. You don't have to agree with everything that I say. I'm not going to agree with everything you say. You know what I mean? It is what it is. There's no couple. There's no married couple. There's no couple dating that agree on every single thing. So if you've been married 20, 30, 40, 50 years, there's no way you and your spouse agree on every single topic. If these people don't agree on every single topic, how the heck can we expect and demand that everybody agree with us on everything? We're all at different levels in this growth and development journey. It don't make you better, don't make you worse than the other person. It is what it is. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. I love you guys. Happy healing.